everyone, my name is Kim S. and in today's video we'll be diving into multi-digit addition. This is an essential skill for students to grasp, and I'll be showing you how we can solve a 3-digit addition problem. We'll start by estimating the solution, then move on to using base 10 blocks to represent the problem visually, and I'll show you a mental strategy as well. Let's get started. Let's first estimate the solution to the addition problem. Estimation helps us get an idea of what the final sum will look like, making sure that the actual answer we calculate makes sense. First, we have the problem 384 plus 562. I'm going to round each number to the nearest hundred to make the math easier. So 384 rounds to 400, and 562 rounds to 600. Now let's add these rounded numbers together. 400 plus 600 equals 1,000. That means that the sum will likely be around 1,000. So we're expecting a result close to this number. Now let's break it down with base 10 blocks to really visualize the addition. Here's how we represent 384. I'll use 300 blocks, 8 10 blocks, and 4 1 blocks. Now, let's add 562 to this. We'll add 500 blocks, 6 10 blocks, and 2 1 blocks. All right, so when adding these blocks together, let's start with the ones. If we add our 2 ones to our 4 ones, that gives us 6 ones. Let's place them over here. Next, if we move on to our tens, and we have our 8 tens plus 6 tens, that gives us 14 tens. And since we know that 14 tens is really 100 and 4 tens, we can take our 10 tens and exchange them for 100 block. This leaves us with 4 tens. Let's bring our 4 tens up with our ones. Now let's add all of our 100 blocks. We have 1, 2, 3, 400 blocks now, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 500 blocks. 400 blocks and 500 blocks is 900 blocks. So we have 946 altogether. Since we did estimate that it should be around 1,000, and we now have 946, we know that this is correct, or at least very close to being correct to our estimation. And that is how today we have learned to do 3-digit addition problems. Thank you. Now, let's look at how we can solve this addition problem mentally. We'll break it down into smaller, more manageable steps. So we go back to our problem of 384 plus 562. First, I'll add the hundreds place. 300 plus 500 equals 800. Now I'll move to the tens place. 80 plus 60 gives me 140. Now I'll add the ones place. 4 plus 2 equals 6. Now let's put this all together. 800 plus 140 is 940. Then I add my ones to get 946. So the sum of 384 and 562 is 946. Thank you. Hi, my name is Kim, and in today's video, we're going to explore multi-digit division. Specifically, I'll show you how to solve a 3-digit division problem using base 10 blocks and a mental strategy. We'll start by estimating the quotient, and then I'll model the division process step by step. Let's get started. Before we begin dividing, let's estimate the quotient. Estimation helps us understand what range the final answer will fall into. For this division problem, we'll divide 928 by 4. Let's round 928 to 900 to make it easier. Now, divide 900 by 4. When I divide 900 by 4, I get 225. This is a good estimate of what the actual quotient will be, so we know the result should be around 225. Now, let's solve for 928 divide by 4 using base 10 blocks. First, I'll represent 900 with 100 blocks, 20 with 10 blocks, and 8 with 1 blocks. Now, we need to divide these blocks into 4 equal groups. Let's start with the hundreds. I have 900 blocks, and I need to divide them by 4. Each group will get 200 blocks, but I have 100 left over. So I'll move that 100 to the tens place. By doing this, I will exchange my 100 block for 10 blocks. Now I have 12 10 blocks. So dividing the 12 10 blocks by 4, I have 3 10 blocks in each one. Now I have 12 10 blocks. So dividing the 12 10 blocks by 4, I have 3 10 blocks in each one. Now, on to the 1 blocks. I have 8 1 blocks. So in each one, we'll get 2 1 blocks. Now, each group is divided evenly from 928 into 4 groups. So each group now has 200 blocks, 3 10 blocks, and 2 1 blocks. That gives me a total of 232 in each group, and this is our quotient. Now, let's solve this problem using a different mental strategy called partitioning. Instead of using long division, I'll break the division into smaller, easier steps that can be done mentally. Again, 928 divided by 4. First, I'll split 928 into more manageable parts. I'll break it down like this. 900 divided by 4, 20 divided by 4, and 8 divided by 4. Let's do these parts one by one. 900 divided by 4, as we know from our estimating, is 225. 20 divided by 4 is 5. 8 divided by 4 is 2. Now I'll add up these partial quotients. 225 plus 5 plus 2 equals 232. So 928 divided by 4 equals 232. By breaking down the problem into smaller, simpler divisions, I was able to solve it mentally without using long division. I hope this helps in your future teaching classrooms.